And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, today we're taking a look at Sultaniya. This is a game from Bombix and Asmodee. It is a game about building a palace so that the Sultan comes by and says, "Good job, you built the best palace." Now there are many games in which you build different things, and there are many tile laying games, which this one is. You're going to be putting tiles on the board. But this is one where when you're done, it's actually going to make almost a work of art. Let me show you. Each person in the game is going to take one of these player boards that shows their character. Here's Anis. And on the board are 3 tiles already. As the game progresses, you'll be able to add more tiles to the board. But it starts with 3. It also starts with some scoring options. So for example here, she gets 1 point for every little window, 3 points for every tower there, 6 points if she has an arch, and then points for the most guards. So you can see she's already starting with some points here. And you can see each of the characters. Here's Alibaba. And each of the characters has different things. Some characters will start with some of these really nicely produced gems. And each character has different things that they're scoring for. Or you could even flip them over. And there's other characters such as Aladdin here. Lots of different characters. So let's say, for example, I'm going to start and I'm going to be Jafar. So that gives me 1 gem. Each character is also going to take 2 bonus tiles. These are tiles that at the end of the game give you points. Like this one here gives me points. Every genie I control at the end of the game times 2. So if I control all 4 genies, I'll get 8 points from this one. This one here gives me points equal to the most gems that I have in one row. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to place them down here. And now I'm ready to start building. Each player is going to take a turn, and turns are going to go in turn order until one person builds 5 tiles in the very top row. There's 4 rows they'll be building in. This is row 1, 2, 3, and 4 above it. There's 3 things you can do in your turn. One thing you can do is simply pass and take 2 gems. That's a way to get gems. Gems are used mostly for summoning genies. Another thing you can do is you can take tiles. Now there are 4 piles of tiles over here, each for the 4 different types of floors. And each tile is identical on both sides except that it's switched. It's a mirror image. So here you can see there's the dark is on this side, and over here it's on this side. So what you can do is you fill up one of these rows to 3. So if there's less than 3, you can fill it up to 3. Then you can take one of the tiles. You can take one of these, or if let's say there had been another row, let's say there was 2 out here, I could take one of those also. And you'll take that and you'll add it to down here to your display. Now when you add something to a display, the first one has to touch one of these 3 tiles, and after that it has to touch a tile. It also has to match everything around it. So for example, this tile fits this way, but it does not fit this way. Each tile has to go in a certain row. This row has a blue line to make it easier. This row has a red line, but as again, you can see this doesn't match because it doesn't match the pillars that are below it. I would need something like this. The tiles also are off kilter when you stack them, so you stack them like you build a good Lego house. And as time goes by, you'll be able to add more and more tiles as the game progresses. You're allowed to even leave a tile hanging off an edge. So for example, this would be a legitimate thing to do. Now players are going to keep doing this. They can also summon genies. There are 4 genies in the game. Each one has a different cost and a different reward that he gives you. The blue genie costs 1 sapphire, and when you do that, you basically can clear a row of tiles. So I could say, I'm going to put all these in the bottom of the stack, draw 3 more, and build one of those. Sometimes you're trying to build a specific thing or look for a specific tile. The red genie lets you move a tile to another space. So maybe I wanted to move this tile to a different spot in the palace, or sometimes just get rid of one because you have another spot that you can do it. You can also build when you use the red genie. The green genie, you can build twice instead of just once. And the yellow genie, he costs 3 sapphires, the most expensive. He lets you look through a stack and build any tile of your choice. So you're going to keep doing this until one person builds 5 tiles on the top of their palace. So here's a palace that's completely filled up. You can never go past the edges over here of your bonus tiles. So this is a tile that has all of them in it. And as you can see, it forms a pretty cool looking picture. And they always look different. And then you simply score everyone's palaces. So for example here, Jafar gets 1 for every one of these small towers, and he has 1, 2, 3 of those, so that's 3 points. He gets 3 for each of these, so 3, 6, 9 more points. 6 for each set of arches. He has a set of arches right there, so that's 6 points. And then this one on the roof counts for another 6 points. Then whoever has the most guards will get 9, 6, or 3, so he'd have to count the number of guards. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he's really doing well with guards. With 7 guards, he has a chance to beat other people in that. And this tile up here gives just 5 points straight up for no other reason. So some tiles give points in that regard. And then he would get points for his bonus tiles. He gets 3 for each gem in one row. So this row here has 4 gems in it, so that would be worth 4 points. And he gets 2 points for every genie he has. Whenever you use a genie, you put it in front of you. So let's say he had 2 genies, he would get 4 points. And so there's different bonus tiles and different ways to get points, and whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. First of all, production values on this are through the roof. Oh my goodness. The box is a nice insert. The artwork is phenomenal. I said at the beginning that it looks good. The designer told me that many people take pictures of their final castles or palaces and upload them on the internet. The board even comes with this scoring board here, which is used to score at the end of the game. You don't even need it. These genies are phenomenally produced with translucent plastic, very cool looking. I would say the only problem with the genies is we had to constantly be looking at the rule book to remember what each of the genies did. It would have been nice if there had been a little card that told you that or reminded you. These sapphires are fantastic. Everybody wants them just to hang on to them, and they look cool. So it's just a very good production. The gameplay itself is a lot lighter than you might think. Scores are often fairly close. There's not tons of strategy in the game. You're simply just grabbing a tile and putting it out there. This is a light family game, but in that regard, it works really well because of the entertaining value of seeing your palace being built in front of you. Like I said, that you're going for points, but at the same time, you're kind of excited to see something you built. I am a big fan of games that when you're finished with them, you look at what you've done and you said, yeah, even if I came in last place, that is my palace. I like that. And at the same time, it does give you things to go for. You can try to get specific tiles. Sometimes you'll take a tile because it's exactly what you need. Sometimes you'll take a tile because it's something that another player might want and you don't want them to have that in their palace. It's really cool. It's a very simple idea. I don't think this game is going to have strategy guides written about it, but I do think it's one that many families will play many times, if for no other reason than to see it. This will have the same appeal to those who like Carcassonne. And Carcassonne, you look and you build that cool map and you say, wow, this is the same thing, except this time you have your own personal area. And knowing the best time to use the genies and switch tiles out. So it's cool. Very light. I wouldn't say this is a heavy game at all. But very interesting and a beautiful enough production that this is a game I think would be a great gift to folks, for especially families, and try it out. I've played it with all the numbers of players, 2 through 4, and enjoyed it with each of those. It was a very fun, fast little 2-player game too. So one that I would recommend for families, very much so, Sultaniya.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Come on, shut the door.
Well, we just...